Hello, my name is Joshua Reeves and I'm a disability rights campaigner. So last week I was joined by the Economic and Social Research Council to join this event hosted by Exercise for All at Llanishen Centre. We talked about how can we get more accessibility in gyms across the UK and Rhondda and Merthyr and Cardiff, and how it's important for a person with a disability to have fitness and go to the gym. So from this event I have interviewed a couple of people to ask them how they found the accessibility in the gym and how it's improving, and is it improving most importantly. So I interviewed them several questions. So I would like to take you on a magical, mystical adventure and show you what they've said. Before that, I would like to say a massive thank you to Radha Naya Roberts for inviting me to this wonderful event.
My name is Margaret Manton and I'm a physiotherapist in Cumtav University Health Board. My background is in clinical specialist in neurodisability in paediatrics, and I recently just stepped into a management role within the physiotherapy team. I'm working on a bid for the Healthy Active Fund in Wales, and we're looking into strengthening the community assets, so things like leisure centres, to have more accessible equipment for people with disabilities, and just improving the training of their staff as well to make sure that they can induct people safely. So we're just trying to put together a bit of a bid, and was really delighted to be asked to come to this event. Well, for myself, we're targeting leisure centres across Rhondda and Merthyr. So it's unlikely that we would be able to address it in every leisure centre, but what we would do is maybe geographically look at leisure centres across sort of an equal patch or equal distance from places, and try to just pick a few that we can focus on to really strengthen their equipment. Well, definitely we need more of the active passive type equipment, so things that can be like part motorised and allow movement through ranges, but we also need access to some good accessible muscle strengthening equipment as well. So we want to address the cardio side of things and the strengthening side of things.
I'm Frank Edwards. I'm a member of Yoga Mobility. I'm demonstrating yoga. Well, I was doing yoga 20 years ago. Then 6 years ago, I had the bypass and the brain clots, and I started yoga again. Well, my balance is improving. Yoga Mobility is at Roth Church Hall on a Wednesday night, 6 o'clock till 7. Spectrum on Monday morning and Thursday morning in Fairwater. It's an hour-and-a-half session. Spectrum covers a wider range of disability than the Roth Church Hall.
I'm Pierpoint, and I am Exercise for All's artist and illustrator, and I design their website, posters and flyers, and I'm also planning on doing a big exhibition of portraiture of disabled individuals exercising to help raise awareness. I'm here today because I helped organise this event. Me, Radha, Beth and yourself have been working on this for a couple of months now. It's our first big event. I designed some of the posters for it, and I really just want to help this event take off. I'm hoping this will be the first of many.
Yeah, I hope that it will be like a routine, like a rotational yearly thing, or maybe have one every other year rather than every year. It depends on it depends on who's going to come. Basically, I reckon we should definitely do it again anyway.
I think so. I think it's really important. Just to discuss maybe updates in research and how it's going overall. Get people's opinions, get people talking, get people discussing some solutions.
And maybe we have more gyms and leisure centres out there than before the next event.
Yes.
And
more venues to host it at. Llanishen Leisure Centre, where we are now, has set a really great example of what we can expect from other leisure centres in the local area. I think there needs to be more passive motion machines that can help people, disabled people, especially those who are wheelchair bound, moving their limbs again. I think there needs to be better elevator access. Even in this leisure centre, I think there needs to be better.
Yeah.
And better sort of showering facilities, hoists in showers and toilets, because and I think it needs to be widespread. I don't think anyone should escape our wrath, if you like.
No, of course not. And I want to ask as well, why is your art so based on people with disabilities?
I've always viewed art as a sort of a vehicle to send a message out. I don't think art should be there for purely just beauty, and I think it should evoke discussion and emotions, and I think doing anything for a good cause is so. My artwork, my portraiture in particular, seeks to spread a message and raise awareness and show people that with disabilities are just as mobile and just as confident, and break that stigma, I guess. And that's what my portraiture says to do. I think Exercise for All will now continue to campaign to get more accessible venues, fitness venues, but also we want to develop a web app with an interactive map to show disabled individuals where classes are being run, what's involved in those classes, where are the accessible venues around Cardiff, how can people access them. And in terms of myself and my own personal project for the EFA, I'm doing some very, very large portraiture, sort of 3 meters tall and 1.5 meters wide, of disabled individuals exercising to empower them and to inform the public, and that's where I think we're heading next. It's really exciting.
Yeah. I'm Stuart Nixon. I've been living with MS since I was about 13, and I'm currently an ambassador for the MS Society. I've lived with disability all my adult life, so I guess I've got very used to the challenges and problems that it brings for me. But what I've always tried to do is be upfront with people and very straightforward and honest as to where I am, what my issues are and what I need from people. Sometimes that's worked for me, sometimes it's worked against me. I do find very often that you'll get doors closed in your face that say, no, you can't come in here with that disability, you can't progress. So it has been a barrier. But in my professional life, I've tried to make sure I've been honest and straightforward and open. Working in healthcare, you would think that people would always be very understanding, but that's not always been the case. And at times it's been a, no, you can't progress. So we've had quite a few problems over the years, but for me, life's been about saying, how can I concentrate on what I can achieve and what are the positives in my life? And by doing that, I'm as happy now as I ever have been. And I think being happy and being content is what life's all about, really. I was invited today by Rada to come and share my experience of an event that I did about 5 years ago, which was a fundraising event to walk around London, where we raised a real significant amount of money. But beyond that, I think what I'm invested in is Rada's approach to the fact that exercise needs to be available for everybody at all times, and disability shouldn't be a barrier. But at the moment it most certainly is. Most of the leisure centres, most of the normal, in inverted commas, facilities that are available in Wales don't welcome disabled people. And what that means is that people who aren't particularly strong-minded, if you will, committed to making a difference for themselves, who've been worn down by the challenges of living with disability for a considerable time, they get what I call chilled. And by chilled, I mean they just feel, I can't do that. And that isn't good enough. So those of us who are going to be in this room today are going to have to take this forward and make sure that we influence the decision makers across Wales to make sure exercise is available for all at any point across Wales.